This is it. The shift is actually here. The thing we've been talking about since 2020, it's actually here now. So, what I'm going to ask you to do is take off your bias lens, take off the left, take off the right, take out your political views, and I want you to just listen to the facts, figures, numbers, logic. Now, I'm going to stay in my lane, which is macro and microeconomics, and I'm going to share with you how I protected my family's financial future and how I'm preparing for the future monetary system. But I'm going to ask that you just remove the left, remove the right, and let's try to look at the facts, figures, numbers, logic. Remember, the 1% will always remain the 1%. What I'm really good at is studying historical patterns. I always give credit to Ray Dalio and the changing world order, Over the last 500 years, there's been rise and falls of superpowers, and it ends the same way every single time. Okay? The biggest thing that brings down superpowers and changes systems is war and credit crisis. And we have two happening at the exact same time. So I'm going to break down a little bit of a different perspective around the Straits of Hormuz right now and share with you the macro microeconomic implications. Now, some people on one side say this is all strategy. He's playing chess, they're playing checkers. The other people say that we've lost control, right? But what I will tell you is that this all has to do with the Eurodollar. America's dominance as the world's reserve currency. We're in a transition right now. Whether you want to accept it or not, you are in a transition of the dollar not being the dominant currency. It started back in 2009 at a very deep level when Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa came together to de-dollarize. And ironically, Bitcoin was created at the exact same time. The very people who told you Bitcoin's a fraud, it's used for money laundering, are now some of the largest holders in the world. BlackRock, the Trump family. Think about that. Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, owns Cantor. It's a crypto company, guys. They're connected to XXI, the number 3 Bitcoin treasury in the world. Okay, so we're going to watch a couple clips around the Straits of Hormuz. Then I'm going to take you back to what the Russian parliament said around stablecoins and crypto. Crypto is here to stay at a very, very deep level. Okay, stablecoins are going to be your new monetary system. And some of these cryptos are going to run the whole monetary system. Your job is to decipher what is real, what is fake, and what the new system is going to be. But you can't make your decisions off sound bites, guys. I mean, we have to go a little bit deeper into this. I want to make this very clear. I am proud to be an American, okay? I have my 7th company I just launched in America, okay? I served my country. I was in the military. I served in the United States Coast Guard for 5 years. I love America. And I support my president, okay? Whoever's in the presidency, I will support them. But what I won't support is separation. What I won't support is division. And what I won't support is hate. Okay. And I love God with all my heart. And I honor Jesus Christ in everything I do. Okay. But we need to look at the reality of what's actually happening because this type of stuff affects you at a deep level. You won't see the reverberation effects of these decisions until the next 6 months from now. So check this out. So the first thing we're going to watch is some videos on the Straits of Hormuz. Then I'm going to take you a little bit deeper. What I think is happening right now is this is the next pandemic coming. It's going to be an energy crisis, guys. You're about to see, if this doesn't get resolved, you're about to see your gas prices go up 50 cents to $1. You're about to see your food prices go through the roof. It's going to cause a massive, I told you, I'm worried about the middle class, getting leverage towards technology, moving down to the working poor. Pay attention.
President Trump's blockade is officially in effect. He says the ceasefire with Iran is holding well. Watch this.
I would say it's holding well. Their military is destroyed. Their whole Navy is underwater. You know that 158 ships are gone. Their Navy's gone. Most of their mine droppers are gone. We have a lot of people, as you know, at 10 o'clock tomorrow, we have a blockade going into effect. That'll be 10 o'clock tomorrow. Other nations are working so that Iran will not be able to sell oil. And that will be very effective.
Retired 4-star General Jack.
Okay, so the blockade is in full effect, right? Now, what that's doing is it's pushing a lot of ships over to the U.S. for oil, okay? So what it's clearly stating to us is that this is either one of two things happen. Okay, is happening. Is Iran is fully working to destroy the euro dollar. You need to study and understand the euro dollar, guys. Okay. Remember, the petrodollar is what keeps America strong. So Trump's strategy, I believe, is to block off the Straits of Hormuz and force people to come get oil in America. But all this takes time, guys. Your pocketbooks are being affected right now. Interest rates are not coming down. And if the longer this goes on, the more chance of interest rates going up, inflation going through the roof, and guess what? The private credit markets are about to collapse, guys. So I want you to listen to the back end of this interview. I recommend you go watch the full interview. It was on Bloomberg. It was they're talking about Iran war, oil shock, and the AI boom. But listen to what this gentleman says about inflation in America. Oh, give me 1 second. I didn't switch it over. Share this. There we go.
Your thoughts on something that's managed to happen silently but steadily and consistently while this war of the last 7 weeks was taking place is AI has continued to drive markets.
Okay, so this is key. So and obviously I'm trying to decipher through all the noise, right? I understand what's happening to the macroeconomics. We got AI coming in, okay? This is causing crazy amounts of inflation. It's causing an energy crisis, an oil crisis, right? Then I'm going to show you what the EU just said as well. I think this is going to force the next pandemic, guys.
Example of that, today as I speak, I haven't checked my phone in about 30 minutes, but the Taiwan markets are at all-time highs as we speak. What are your thoughts? And how is also the AI story in the Asia-Pacific resonating where you are based in the U.S.?
You know, I used to be, unquote, Dr. Doom, worried all about the financial crisis and tail risk, mega threats. And some people say you become Dr. Boom because I do believe actually that it's not just AI. There are about 15 different technologies of the future. AI, semiconductors, robotic automation, humanoid robots, defense tech, quantum, fusion, green tech, fintech, agtech.
Okay, they're moving us into the new system, guys. You got to wake up. This is all about moving us in the new system.
New material science, commercial, space exploration, commercialization, you name it. These are a Cambrian explosion of new technologies of the future. Like
they just gave you the hint where to invest.
We're not seen in human history. And the two big innovators are on one side, US and then China. And then there are pockets of innovation in Asia, like Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, India, Israel, some things in Europe. But my view is that US potential growth is already above 2%, closer to 3%. And by the end of the decade, regardless of this war, regardless who's in power in Washington, doesn't matter. The dynamics of the US private sector is such that potential growth in the US is going to be 4%. And then after that, by 2040, 6%, and then by 2050, 10%. And the other big beneficiary of these innovations is going to be China. And it's not the zero-sum game. We win, they lose, or vice versa, because many of these technologies are general-purpose technologies, and you learn from each other. So those who innovate get most of the benefits. Those who adopt the technology still benefit from adoption, and those who don't adopt, then they don't survive.
Okay, this is really key. This is going to be a longer video because I'm really trying to help you put the blockers on and see what's happening here, okay? The future is innovation. That's where you should be focusing on your investing, okay? The old system is dying off, guys. Oil, industry, okay? Centralization. We're the caterpillar right now becoming the butterfly. It is about to get, excuse my language, I'm just going to say it, it's about to get fucking ugly. Really ugly. Okay. The middle class we are all getting manipulated. It's all sound bites, bullshit, left, right. We're looking this way. It's, oh, this is my hero. This is my hero. Guys, it's a controlled demolition into a new system. Listen.
So that fundamental story, regardless of geopolitics, regardless of climate change, regardless of populism, is the driver for the next 10, 20 years, is a positive for the world at large, certainly positive for both US and China. And that remains true. And that's why even at the peak of the war, the S&P was down 4%, and now markets are rallying. And the AI story is not a fad, is not a bubble, is going to last and is not the high. And in these 15 industries of the future, you can debate for, as much as you want whether US ahead or China in which one of them. The reality is both of them are doing well in most of them. Some of them ahead in some of them ahead in other. But both of them are going to benefit and everybody else is going to follow up. So that's a big story, that there is a strong, positive aggregate supply shock that increases growth and reduces inflation. This is a secular boom driven by technology. And then you have all the shocks that are negative aggregate supply shocks that are stagflationary. War, oil shocks, Middle East, aging of population, populism, pandemics, climate change, you name it. But since April 2nd, I've said tech trumps tariffs because the impact of tech is the 200 basis points increase in potential growth, while the impact of all the trade, the migration, and other things, inflation, only 50 basis points, so it's a ratio 4-1. But they also said tech trumps temper tantrums too, because there's a wide range of things it does that look like crazy, but one, market discipline, two, technological innovation, make sure that these are second order. Once during a speech, I made a joke. I said, it doesn't matter who's president of the United States. You could have Mickey Mouse president of the United States, and the dynamism of the US private sector is such, US are going to do great, even if Mickey Mouse was president, let alone Donald Trump. It was a joke. People made it a headline for an article saying, Ulrich says that even if Mickey Mouse was president, US will do well, but I think that's true. And same thing for China. US and China got to do well.
Okay. So there was a part I missed the part. There was about inflation, right? So what's happening right now is to move us into a new system. This is where I want to go with this, okay? Like I said, it's going to be a longer video, and then I'm going to start to tie back where I believe we're going, okay? And this is how I make my decision, okay? So this was posted by Wall Street Mav, okay? It says the Straits of Hormuz blockade, Europeans plan. Watch this.
Is how can we reduce the demand? Because of course the least expensive energy is the energy that is not used. We should reduce demand while fully respecting the free choice of consumers. So we are looking at energy efficiency levers such as renovation of buildings or the renewal of equipment in industrial operations. These are some measures, but there are also other measures that we will present, or will be the core of the presentation of the communication next week on the table of the leaders. So far for the...
Okay, so the next pandemic is going to be energy, guys, okay? So how are they preparing us for this? How are we moving into the new system? Innovation, technology, China, America, superpower, right? There's this big transition, right? The Straits of Hormuz is kind of like the collapsing of the Eurodollar, right? There's a balance between not allowing America to completely collapse, the dollar to completely collapse, and a new system coming in. And this is where the balance is coming in. Trump comes in as the crypto capital of the world, the Bitcoin president, stablecoins, okay? And we're going to go take you back to 2025. Remember this right here? It says Vladimir Putin's advisor says U.S. is using crypto and stablecoins to erase the $35 trillion debt. Remember, the debt still exists, guys. It's growing fast, really, really fast. We don't collect enough in taxes to pay the interest on our debt. So we'll go back to this. Okay. I posted this yesterday. Don't lose sight of what's happening here. Remember this from last year, crypto and stablecoins are the solve in a massive debt crisis. Okay. So I'm going to read through this with you. Remember, it's from the Russian parliament, and I'm going to obviously translate. You can see it on the screen. A lot of people are listening while they're driving. So listen.
Америка прямо
Says the U.S. is now trying to rewrite the rules of gold and cryptocurrency markets.
сейчас пытается поменять правила на рынке золота и криптовалют. Вспомните,
Remember, the size of their debt is 35 trillion.
какой у них долг. 35 триллионов долларов. В общем-то, это
These two sectors, crypto and gold, are essentially alternatives to the traditional global currency system. Straits of Hormuz shut down. They start trading in yuan and Bitcoin, or start accepting tolls in yuan and Bitcoin. Trump has his own stablecoin now. We have the Stablecoin Act. Tether's now in America.
два альтернативных валютному сегменту мировых рынка. Действия
Washington actions in this area clearly highlight one of its main goals.
Вашингтона в этом направлении отчетливо демонстрируют одну из главных американских задач. Они
To urgently address the declining trust in the U.S. dollar.
очень хотят решить проблему снижения доверия к доллару. США, как это
As in the 1930s and 1970s, U.S. plans to solve its financial problems at the world's expense.
Это было и в 30-е, и в 70-е годы. Будут решать свои финансовые проблемы за счет всего мира, загоняя
This time by pushing everyone into the crypto cloud.
всех куда? В криптовалютное облако. Со временем, когда
Over time, once part of the U.S. national debt is placed into stablecoins, Washington will devalue that debt.
часть госдолга США будет размещена в стейблкоинах, США обесценит этот долг. Еще раз
Put simply, they have a 35 trillion currency in debt. They will move it into the crypto cloud, devalue it, and start from scratch.
простыми словами, у них сейчас валютный 35-триллионный долг, они его загоняют в крипту, в облако, обесценивают и начинают с нуля. Это для тех.
That's the reality for those who are so enthusiastic around crypto. Okay. So this was a really good article put out by Justin Bleacher. You'll see it's at 1914 ad. It says BRICS just found its new reserve currency. Scott Bessonnet spent a year building the regulatory framework to make stablecoin compliance feasible and loyal to the dollar. One day he'll publish the rules. Iran started collecting Bitcoin in the Straits of Hormuz. That single fact demonstrated under live sanctions during a shooting war changes the reserve currency math forever. BRICS has been looking for a neutral settlement layer for decades. They can now stop looking. 10 months ago at the Bitcoin conference, check this out. Watch this.
Stablecoin,
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 stablecoin, stablecoin for Bitcoin, stablecoin, 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 stablecoins, stablecoins,
Stablecoins, stablecoins, stablecoins,
stablecoins, stablecoin,
stablecoins, stablecoin,
stablecoin,
stablecoin on stablecoins,
stablecoin, stablecoin,
stablecoin,
Stablecoin, stablecoins, stablecoins, the stablecoins, stablecoins,
Stablecoins.
stablecoins,
Stablecoin.
stablecoins,
stablecoin, stablecoin. We've got stablecoins right now.
stablecoin, 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 stablecoin,
Stablecoin.
Hopefully, once we have stablecoins behind us, and I know this is a stablecoin panel, but
stablecoin,
stablecoins, 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 stablecoins,
Stablecoin.
Talked a lot about stablecoins.
Stablecoin.
Knockoff stablecoins, stablecoins,
Stablecoin.
Stablecoins, dollar peg stablecoins.
stablecoin.
Kind of odd, right? Remember Bitcoin was anti-government decentralization. Did you see how many politicians were there? I've been telling you guys this game. But this is the reality, guys. This is what's happening. They're moving us into crypto, right? Back in March 6th, there's a Bitcoin strategic reserve. You're all losing sight. You're all getting caught in the noise, right? It's all right here, guys. It's all right in front of you. It's all right in front of here. And then we have Japan's bonds are soaring, and I put XRP and Bitcoin look increasingly attractive. Here it comes. The Straits shut down. Interest rates are not going down. America's gas price is going up. The great reset is truly, truly, truly on its way. Okay, this is it. I mean, we've been talking about this since 2020. What we called the Great Financial Reset. The World Economic Forum said you're going to own nothing and be happy. The fact is, Americans are about to own nothing and be absolutely miserable. Now, I'm conservative, guys. I'm pro the president. I want the president to win. I want America to win. I want everybody to win. But what I'm not going to do is sit back on my hands and just watch the middle class just get destroyed. You have to wake up, guys. You have to understand the reality of what you're facing right now. Your gas prices are about to go up even more. I just filled up my car. It was $130. So imagine that going up to $140. Let me ask you a question. Do you have enough money in your pocketbook to support that shock? The food's going up, and they can shout from the mountaintops. They can say, oh, we're doing this and we're taking action on this. But there's a 6-month reverberation effect to everything. Okay. We were promised low gas prices. We were promised low egg prices. We were promised low groceries. We were promised low interest rates, affordability. The affordability crisis is here, and it's all an energy crisis. That is the next pandemic. Okay, the Straits of Hormuz, the longer they're shut down now, is that forcing tankers to come to America? Yeah, but what happens is money is very cheap at the top, guys. Even if they lower interest rates, like we keep stacking money, middle class keep stacking money on their credit cards. It doesn't affect everybody the same. This is what you need to understand. Even if they, in 6 months, they drop interest rates, you're fucked. Your credit cards are maxed. You're buried. So who cares if they lower interest rates down? You're already buried. You have to start taking action now. You have to create a budget now. You have to create a gap and create cash flow now. You have to start understanding how to invest in assets that are going to beat inflation, because inflation is about to go out of control. And unfortunately, they don't care about you guys. I know you want to believe that. I know you want to believe that. We got what, 6-7 months until the midterms? Who knows what's going to happen with the midterms, right? Then we go into 2 years later, we're going back into the presidential election. We go into the Bitcoin halving. We're going to go into one of the biggest economic explosions we've ever had in AI, cryptocurrency. So what you should be doing is really putting that middle ground lens on, in an unbiased lens, not getting too left, not getting too right, not getting too, like, I'm very conservative, guys. I'm a Christian. I homeschool my kid. I have kids. My daughter's turning 22. She lives with me full time, right? We're very conservative. She's going to live with me hopefully until she gets married, right? We're a Christian household. We believe in the Bible. We believe in God. I homeschool my son, right? I take care of my ecosystem. I'm very conservative, right? Conceal carry, like I live in Arizona. Like I'm a very conservative person. I support my president. I'm not against the president of the United States. What I'm against is lack of financial literacy and education and bullshit lies that it's going to be okay, guys. It's not okay right now. It's not okay. Look at your pocketbook. Look at your account. Did you get a raise that beat inflation? And if you don't beat inflation every year, it's not going to be okay. So you have to start to make it okay. We have to stop waiting for someone to fix it. So understand the Straits of Hormuz. If it doesn't open up, the longer this goes on, the more the debt crisis is going to expand, the more expensive things are going to get. Here's the silver lining in all of this, okay? This is enhancing stablecoins. This is enhancing the narrative for XRP. This is enhancing the narrative for Bitcoin. That is your future, guys. That is your future. Okay, so here's my exact portfolio. Always going to be open with you. XRP is number 1, 43%. Bitcoin is number 2, 40%. WLFI, I haven't moved it. I'm still sitting tight. I don't make decisions off emotion. There's too much sound bites, too much bullshit. I don't know the real facts, figures, numbers, logic. So I'm still sitting on that. Strategy has not changed. If it changed, I will be open and honest with you. Solana is number 4. Those are my top 4. I'm only accumulating the top 4. That's it. Okay. I'm waiting to see what happens with WFI right now. Kind of in a holding pattern, seeing what's going on. I still have my DCA in there. Okay. But I will let you know if anything changes with that. I'll always be open and transparent with you. I still own XBAR, XLM, HBAR, and VeChain. Okay. I'm heavy on cash flow. I built cash generating businesses. I have cash generating dividends. All my debts, outside of debts and non-negotiables, all the cash flow from my dividend stocks and from my income go into assets that beat inflation. I just gave you some of the assets. Okay. I stack cash value life insurance. Insurance has been around since the Roman days. Insurance is the bottom of the risk pyramid. In times of war, in times of chaos, you should be protecting your money. They teach you how to insure your house, your car, your life, but how many bankers teach you how to insure your money? We insure our money. Okay. That creates L, leverage. When the markets come collapsing down, and they will at some point, I go in and I borrow against my own family bank and I leverage to buy more cash flow and more assets. That's capital DR. And I de-risk based on economic cycles. I don't wait for price predictions. I don't wait for saviors. I don't wait for people to change. I move through the economic system. I look at things like this. I understand that inflation's about to go through the roof. Interest rates aren't going to come down, and there's a private credit crisis forming like a tsunami in the background. And if the markets happen to come down, now, if he reverses all this, it's going to change, right? If we end the war in Iran and interest rates come down, right? We got a new Fed chair coming in, but guys, it's not looking very good right now. Now, maybe it is strategy. Maybe he's playing chess. and they're playing checkers. Maybe it's some big grand strategy that he's got it all figured out. But that still doesn't affect your pocketbook right away. This is what I need you to understand. Yes, maybe it is some big grand strategy. I've had so many healthy conversations with people. They're like, he's playing chess, we're playing checkers. And I've said that before. Okay, that's fine. But we're playing checkers. They're playing chess. The money's cheap for them. Okay. Inflation doesn't hit everybody the same. Okay. When you build wealth and you have cash flow, inflation hits you completely different. So when I see $140 in my gas tank, I'm like, oh, I need to make moves. Okay. When somebody else sees $140 in their gas tank, they're like, holy fuck, I can't survive. This is what we need to wake up to. We keep watching the news. Oh, this is next. No, you need to take action. You need to create a budget. You need to get disciplined. You need to sit down, spouse, partner, and loved one. You need to sit down together and get your shit together. You got 2 cars, sell one. I just met with one of our warriors, so awesome. He's like, I got rid of one of my cars. I freed up cash flow. I'm setting up my insurance policy. I'm like, I'm so proud of you, man. That's what a man should be doing right now. Right? Every move you make with your dollar should be intentional. It should be building cash flow, or it should be going into assets that are going to beat inflation. And you should be understanding at a deep level macro microeconomics, because this doesn't hit everybody the same. Okay, say he fixes this in 6 months. Your credit cards are going to be maxed. Okay? You won't have the down payment anymore for the home. You're going to have to start cashing out of your 401k that's going to come collapsing down if the private credit markets come down. And guess who wins? They do. It's a K-shaped economy, guys. It's about, the middle class is about to get wiped out. The wealth gap is going to become massive. So yes, this is a wake-up call, guys. A massive wake-up call. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. Hey, I want to let you guys know I'm going to be making a big announcement on Friday. I have something coming out in 2 weeks, and I'm going to need your support. I usually don't ask my community for anything, but I have a project, a book that's coming out that I'm going to ask your help to get this to #1, because imagine all the stuff I just taught you. Imagine it in a book explaining how this happened, what happened, and how to fix it. It's I've been working on this project for a very long, imagine 18 years coming together in one book. And I'm going to be asking for your guys' help and support to get this to #1, so it can reach as many human beings as possible, to teach them how it happened, what happened, and how to fix it. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'll keep you updated on the announcement. As we always say, Warriors, let's get your shit together. Let's go.